in the morning. It's what I used to call my breakfast of champions. My eldest son, I was telling him about this pain that would keep me up at night. I couldn't sleep, which left me kind of depleted of a lot of energy. And he said, I want you to try this OPC3. Now, I am not adverse to taking supplements. I'm the one that'll take vitamin C when I have a cold. I'll even take echinacea when I have a cold. But I was a little skeptical about this. So I understand anyone who's skeptical. But he insisted, and he said he had just started in this business, and the least I could do as his mother is to support him in this new endeavor. All you need to do with me is pull the mother guilt thing. That'll work for me every time. I don't know what I have to feel guilty about, but I will always do it. So, so I did start taking it, and the pain went away. Within a week and a half, the pain went away. So, bang, it did what it was supposed to do. But at the same time, just coincidentally, it was time for me to go visit my physician. And I visit my physician every 3 months. I visit my physician every 3 months because I am a type 2 diabetic, and I have high cholesterol, and I have high blood pressure. So I went in and she immediately takes my blood pressure, and she says to me, "My, you're awfully calm today." Most people who know me knows I'm not calm any day. So, so I said, "Gee, I guess, I'm a hospital administrator, and it is not the least tense of jobs to have. I have screaming doctors in my office constantly." So I said, "Oh, well, that's good to hear." She drew my blood, and she called me and said, "So what are you doing?" And I said, "What do you mean, what am I doing?" She said, "Well, you no longer have type 2 diabetes. By the way, I was increasing the dosage. I had gone from 1 metformin to 2. And she said, your cholesterol is that of a young person, and we already discussed you don't have high blood pressure anymore." And I told her what I was taking, which was at that point only OPC3. I called up my son and I said, I started as a medical assistant. I was discussing this with someone else. I have always been involved in healthcare. I believe in helping people. It's a biggie for me. And I said, oh my God, this is it. This is the anti-aging elixir right here. People were saying to me, "You look great, your skin's wonderful, your hair's wonderful." Oh, and in the midst of all of this, I had a thyroid problem that is a genetic thing, and they took my thyroid out. I had it out on a Thursday. I was back Monday, and nobody can see this scar. They took my entire thyroid out, and they were saying, "My God, she's healed already." In fact, I was healing so quickly that I was healing over the stitches. They were like, okay, we got to get these out right now. So my doctors have all been amazed. And so that's how I started. Then, as I started doing it, I realized that they had a makeup line. Hey guys, I wear makeup every day of my life. I get up in the morning. If I'm going to clean my house, I put on my mascara and eyebrows. I'm just one of these.
You cannot see her without mascara.
Yeah, that's part of the problem, guys. I'm pretty.
She's all white and you don't see
Yeah,
her.
exactly. It's that ghost going by. So I found that Motives was the #1 cosmetic line in Europe. I don't know about you. The minute they say in Europe, I'm like, okay, now they know what they're doing when it comes to style.
That's right.
So then I am a healthcare administrator. My budget is anywhere between $20 to $40 million a year. I'm a businesswoman. So I said, no, I'm going to look into this because, I don't do multi-level marketing. I don't do that. And so I started hearing about the business, and I realized it is not like the other companies. I won't even name them because it doesn't matter. It just isn't. and we can talk about that a bit later. So then I said, okay, this is something that I can do to help people get healthier. It's something I can help people look better. And it's something that I can help people to make money, to become financially free. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't see in this day and age that any company really cares about us.
Amen.
They just don't.
They don't.
So I'm going to turn this a bit over. I do have someone who might want to give a testimonial. You want to tell? This is my best friend.
She got me an opposite treatment. No more arthritis.
I called her up and I said, I got to tell you about this. She said, Sean, I don't want to hear about any of these kind of things. I said, okay, I hear it may not be the time for you. But then in the course of the conversation, she said, oh, I got so much pain with my arthritis.
Hey, Sonia.
And by the way, she's not only diabetic, has no blood pressure.
No
High blood pressure.
Hey.
No high blood pressure and no high
Hey.
blood
Hopefully still
The
a blood
doctor
pressure.
took her off the medication.
Yeah, I'm off all those medications.
Yes,
God.
that's beautiful.
It is.
Very good.
So,
Well, she called me Dominican Republic. I guess it was maybe July, August. She just got in and she calls me and said, listen, my sister is an Amway. I'm sorry, that's a company she's working at. I couldn't do it. I've tried and I can't. Said, well, the products had happened to me, the blood pressure. I said, Sean, I need one of those. She said, okay, go online and order it. And I did. So I got one there and I started taking it. And I went to Texas in the month of August. And by the end of August, I called her and said, Sean, I was with my boyfriend. And every time I would get out of bed, I would go, click. Every step I took, my knees would pop. So it was very hard for me to go to the bathroom in the middle of the evening while we were sleeping, because every time I took a step, he would wake up. So all of a sudden, I'm in Texas and I start walking to the bathroom. I say, I made no sound. And the following day, I said, Sean, this is amazing. I had little bumps on my fingers, arthritis, and my knees were no longer clack, clack, clack. I said, I can't believe it. I didn't notice until last night I went to the bathroom and there was no noise. So I said, what is it that I need to do? I need all of the products. She said, you want it wholesale or retail? I said, of course I want wholesale. I said, well, then become
a
a
distributor.
distributor, even if you're not going to do the business. And I said, okay. So with that, she sent me some information and I buy the calcium and I buy all of the things. And all of a sudden, when I went for my medical test in November, my cholesterol was normal, my triglycerides were normal, and I was sleeping through the night. I was not as hyper. My arthritis did not hurt anymore. So I said, you know what? Then I shared with my friends who is a diabetic. He's a diabetic type 2. One, since he was a teenager, he was taking a big shot of insulin in the morning, I think about 40 or whatever, I don't know, in the afternoon also. And then some fast insulin. So he used to take 2 times. And all of a sudden, when he started taking the opposite 3 after about a month, the doctor told he started cracking down. Like we would feel fainting, and we pick him, and it was 56, 62, the blood sugar. And he called the doctor, and the doctor said, what are you doing? Then I have to reduce the insulin. So they reduce it drastically. And the doctor's asking, what is it that you're doing? I said, the only thing I'm doing is using OPC3. So budget-wise now, he's using about the third of the money a month. But he doesn't get off the OPC3 at all.
Wow.
He also had a wound.
Yeah.
He had a wound that would not heal. Anyone who's in medicine knows the diabetic open wound problem. And
I had forgotten about it. Well, not only the open wound, because it wouldn't heal, it started healing because the arteries that was feeding the food with oxygen were all damaged. Because he did not go to the doctor on time to take care of the food. He spent about 6 months hiding the condition, and he wouldn't say anything.
he was
By
afraid
the
to be
time-
amputated. For
Yes.
those in
He
healthcare.
came to the States and they were going to amputate the leg. He was at the Miami hospital, I forget the name, and they have him with the name here, the tag with the wristband, and they say, well, we have to take the leg out because it's almost gangrene, and you have to stay and say, okay, give me few minutes of privacy. Let me just think about it. And it's a difficult situation. I need to make a phone